This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new podcast series with your host, Jeff Roediger here, and Bill Crozier of Financial Planner of the Cleveland Financial Group. Bill, you and I decided to promote a series of educational events dedicated to Ohio public employees, specifically educators at K through 12 and higher education. So could you give the audience a little background on your practice and why you and I decided that we wanted to proceed with a series dedicated to educators in the state of Ohio?
Sure, Jeff, and thanks again for putting this together and making the time for us. Again, my name is Bill. I'm one of the managing partners with Cleveland Financial Group, which is a subsidiary of Lincoln Financial Advisors. We have offices all over the city of Cleveland and Akron. I consult with clients from at least 7 states right now. And one of the focuses in my practice is helping teachers in the state of Ohio understand their state pension plans like STRS or OPERS. I really decided to put this series of podcasts together for a couple different reasons. Primarily because of the current economic conditions we're in right now, what we're currently facing because of the coronavirus. It's just put a lot of Ohio teachers, and I'm sure teachers in other states, in a very stressful situation with being furloughed or losing their jobs altogether. There's been teachers that are experiencing layoffs and forced retirement, and they've just had little or no notice. So again, I've decided to come up with a couple educational series to these podcasts to help teachers make some of these important decisions and just understand a little bit more about some of the information that they're starting to need to think about.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year, and you and I have talked about this before, but what are some of the decisions that educators and teachers out there are having to make that you've helped them with right now?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. For example, the teacher just gets a letter in the mail or an email from their HR department. Hey, you're going to be losing your job effective, September 1st, 2020 because of budget cuts. And immediately the teacher just says, how do I handle these things? How do I handle my pension plan? And, we're just teaching them how to get organized and how to understand what to do first.
Right.
Another thing that's been coming up is, should I take my pension out early, whether it's STRS or OPERS, even if I decide to go back to work for a different employer? Does it make sense to take the money? Another issue that's coming up is what happens if my new employer provides the same pension plan that I was currently under before in my previous employer? How do we merge those together? Can we merge those together? Is that possible? So that's been coming up a lot. Another one is, based on my personal circumstances, do I want to take money out of my current plan? Do I want to take it monthly? Do I want to take it in a lump sum? That's also called the plop. Do I have the ability to do this, and should I do it in the first place? Another one that comes up is if I do take money out in a monthly income or a lump sum, what are the tax implications? Do I have to pay tax on this money? And I guess the other thing that I've been hearing a lot is if I leave my employer now, whether I take my retirement benefits or not, how does it affect other things and other benefits I have, like my 403B or my TIAA CREF? You know, how does it affect my health insurance? How does it affect, you know, spousal benefits under my pension plan if I'm married, and survivor benefits? So these are just a couple things that I'm going to talk about in the podcast series that I've been hearing from my current clients and other teachers in Ohio.
Well, this is important information, and we're going to get this out to everybody in very efficient manner, topic by topic. So what are we going to discuss on the next episode?
Yeah, Jeff, that's a good question, and I've been thinking about that a lot. And as I've been talking to, again, my teacher clients, I think the very first thing, and just putting myself in your shoes, is how to get organized to make these decisions. What information do they need to have in front of them, kind of like a checklist, to be able to go down the road of making some of these decisions that we just talked about. So it's an organization. It's an organizational conversation right off the bat. I think that's the first most important thing, because I tell you what, they've not been getting a lot of help from their HR departments or their, superintendents or, management in the school. They just haven't been able to help. So creating a action plan is usually, I think, the first important step.
Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to cover that gap right now, to help people in a stressful time. It's been a crazy year, and that's why we're doing this. So, Bill, thank you. I appreciate the time. We're here to help. How does somebody that has questions right now, if they're listening to the introduction, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, there's multiple different ways, in no particular order. Obviously, there's a direct line into my office at 330-952-0746. There is my personal business email at william.crozier@lfg.com. They can absolutely go to my LinkedIn page and message me there. And the other way to get me is through my personal website, which is clevelandfg.com. So those are the usually ways that clients can contact me directly.
Another good resource that we put out there is the website publicpensionchecklist.com. publicpensionchecklist.com. And on that page, you can find a report card on your public pension system. So you might want to check that out. You can also put questions and comments on there. Let us know that you attended this podcast. And this concludes our session. So look for the next episode to be uploaded shortly. And we're going to get into the details here on how to help you get organized and make sure you can get ahead of this crisis that we're all experiencing. So thank you very much. Appreciate it, Bill. We'll be back soon.
Thank you, Jeff.